Okay, well, I've got my microphone working as well now.
All right, raz, dva, tri.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I guess we can start.
I guess we can start.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I welcome Kristiina Toots to my little improvised home studio. Well, I guess you can introduce yourself, who you are.
Ooh.
Why are you here? You know it already as well.
All right. I'll start. Should I look at you or at the camera?
Oh, you can look at the camera.
While I introduce myself, I'll look into the camera. All right. Yeah. I'm Kristiina, and currently I'm sitting here as the president of Estonian Climbing Association. Otherwise, I'm just a human being and mother of 2 and wife and rock climber. But today, Ruslan wanted to talk to me a little bit about Estonian Climbing Association, pick my brain, and I can maybe ask him something as well in return.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm in the hot seat. It's very comfortable here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna introduce what this is as well a little bit. So we decided to try to do this kind of content, like those interviews with the interesting people in our climbing community, or maybe people who are doing some interesting projects at the moment. And well, why are we here is because it's my little home studio where I prepare all my photos and videos, and all the stuff you see from my camera on Climbing.ee has been made in here on this table. So that's where we are now. And I thought that, for me at least, Ronimisliit, or the Estonian Climbing Association, I knew it existed, but it was a little bit of this hidden organization. I didn't really know exactly what they're doing, but lately, at least this year, I've been seeing them more and more in the picture on all sorts of competitions and organizing all sorts of stuff. And I actually, even for myself, it's really interesting to kind of get to know what they're doing and what their plans are. But I guess let's start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And if you could tell us what this climbing association is, when was it created, and what it was doing up until now in the past.
Yeah, sure. I'll start from the beginning. Estonian Climbing Association was created in 2014, and before creating it, there was discussions should we even create it, because we have in Estonia Matkaliit, which is hiking association, let's say, and they have their trainers course, for example, for mountaineers. So there was really a question should we even have a separate association? So the Estonian rock climbers or sport climbers, let's say, got together with the mountaineers and discussed what are do we have the same visions, and do we want to work towards exactly the same goals? But there were a little bit two different ways they wanted to go. So that's how Estonian Climbing Association was founded. So basically to represent more of the sport side of sport climbing, so that we could be also represented at IFSC, at the Olympic Committee, Estonian Olympic Committee, etc. When I say we, I wasn't physically there. It was a group of people from Tallinn, Tartu, and Rakvere. And I joined later when I saw that Ronimisliit is there is something like this, and this is where I could maybe also invest my time in and help Estonian climbing.
Well, I guess it kind of repeats the history of climbing overall, because it was mountaineering first, and then climbing kind of branched off from there.
Yeah. And I think the older federations in the world, they often are combined. I know that in Latvia as well, it's combined sports. In Lithuania, it's only sport climbing. So the newer federations are all only sport climbing, it seems like this. And then the older ones are like combined from different...
So what do you personally think? Is it better this way when they're separated?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, only because it's, like we really care about IFSC. I don't know if mountaineers would care about IFSC like being represented there or something. I'm not sure, but I think that still stands. Yeah. In Mountaineer and Matkaliit especially, there are so many other like hiking and things like that. Or I think
they're doing a lot of stuff.
Like,
but I guess this mountaineering side is kind of connected to climbing a bit, but the rest, all sorts of hiking stuff, is a bit too far away from.
So I think this was valid, and still is,
And can you tell us what Estonian Climbing Association have been doing before you stepped in?
You mentioned this as well, that lately you have been hearing the only the biggest difference, I think, is that we started communicating things to the outside. Before, there wasn't that much communication to the outside, which made it feel like it's not doing anything. But really, the communication was the key to just so that people know, hey, this is what we are doing. It was like it's one of the easiest things you can do, but and one of the first things I wanted to do is as well, so that people would even know that there's a thing like Ronimisliit, and so that maybe more people would want to come and say, hey, how can we help? But so prior to, let's say this year, when Ronimisliit was founded in 2014, it started from the beginning. It started from doing things that every association needs to be doing when they are born, which is create basically a structure or structures. So Ronimisliit started creating like a coaching system or for coaches, so that basically people can get the real qualifications, so that their names are like out there. Yes, I am a coach, and you can trust me, etc. So basically, Ronimisliit, this was one of the first things that they started doing. The other one was we joined IFSC as a member, which means that we could like be in the loop of information of IFSC. Also, we could send competitors to IFSC events, which now in the recent years have actually started, which is great. And basically just started building up an organization. That's what Estonian Climbing Association was doing.
Yeah, well, you've said several times that basically the only thing the Climbing Association cared about is being this part of this IFSC. Mm-hmm. So why is it that important? Why is it that important that we have to like create a separate association just to do that?
Yeah, because IFSC is basically, who doesn't know, it's the International Federation of Sport Climbing, and it's the governing organization of sport climbing associations in the world. IFSC is the one who organizes all the World Championships, the World Cups, and now also the in Olympics. IFSC is the one who is organizing it. And these are the flagship events in the rock climbing community. And it's, if you are not a member of IFSC, your country cannot be represented at these events. We couldn't go to Olympics or championships or whatever. So that's important. Also, actually, as a member, we also have a say, a vote in different subjects as well. And so far, Estonia has been more like a passive listener, attending like calls, but now this year I am going to Bratislava in November, 17th and 18th of November, to join the IFSC Europe Assembly, where we actually vote for and against some subjects. And it's founded by Kulka, my going there as a president to represent Estonia. So funded. Sorry.
So what are the questions, for example, you'll be voting for? If you know?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things might be that, I don't know yet, let's say. But I will write a post about it when I'm done. So I'll make sure that the Estonian climbing community will hear about it as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've mentioned as well those kind of creating this structure to the trainers. So can you tell us what the actual system is right now in Estonia?
Yeah. So this is the same system in all sports, not only rock climbing. If you want to become a coach, you either go to the university or you attend trainings. One that is like a general training, where you just learn about the anatomy, the basic human kinetics and physiology and injuries, everything like generic like that. So you do that, and then you do the specialization, which can be rock climbing, or it can be mountaineering, or it can be volleyball, or any sport. After you've done those courses, then you take an exam, and if you pass, you get the lowest grade of being a coach, which is abitreener. What's abitreener? That's
well, intern, I guess, coach intern. You could say.
Like a coach assistant.
Assistant, yeah.
Yeah, coach's assistant. That's the lowest level, and we have right now 12 of those in Estonia, which is a big thing for 12 climbing coaches.
Okay.
So this is. A bunch of volunteers again created these learning materials for the climbing part, and after the materials were created, then we were able to open courses for rock climbing coaching. And now, just this summer, we finished working on the next stage, which is nooremtreener, which is between coach's assistant and being a coach. So that's like the entry-level coach or junior coach or something like that. Again, a group of volunteers started working on it. After finishing it, actually, we got funding as well, which is great from Spordikoolituse Teabe Sihtasutus.
It's complicated to translate.
Sorry. And next year we will start training the next level coaches. Also in 2014 we will finish or start.
So next year you'll start this
trainer trainings, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And also next year we will start and finish, hopefully, creating the materials for the actual coach training. So why this is a milestone is that all coaches that have that level, they can get funding from the government. So basically, if they are working full-time, then they get 50% of their pay comes from the government and 50% from the club or the sports organization they work for. The step lower, some of the regions also start basically subsidizing some pays also from there. But yeah, the main is to get the the coach levels, and yeah,
Okay.
that's the target. That's the big milestone.
So if you're now living in Estonia and you want to become a coach, what's your steps right now? What should you do?
Yes, you should sign up for the general classes. They are, you can take them in Tartu University or Tallinn University. They're all in Estonian. So if you don't speak Estonian, then first go and study Estonian. The second thing is sign up for the coaches training, which for us is in the beginning of December. So sign up and you could be a coach already this year.
And is this coach status, is it kind of recognized outside Estonia as well, somehow?
Yeah, it's all over the world. It's a little bit... some countries might, some countries might not. It depends on how strict their rules are.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, it's it's the safest bet you could have if you want to try to go abroad with being a coach. Also, I might mention this. I don't know if it's interesting or not. The way how all associations in Estonia are funded are basically the association needs to gather points. The more points you have, the more funding you get. One way to get points is the amount of coaches you have. So the more coaches we have in our sport association, the more funding we get from the government. So this is also like one important thing for us as an association, for us to get more funding, and therefore for us to give that back to the community. We need to get like more coaches.
What are the other ways to get points?
The other ways to get points. Thanks for asking. One of the biggest thing is also the more climbers we have, the more points we get. Basically, if we have 0 to 1,000 climbers, we get an amount of support. If we have 1,000 to 1,001 to like 2,000, then we get like more. But all these climbers need to be registered. Yeah,
that was my question. How do you actually calculate how many climbers are there?
They need to be registered, and right now we have in the registry like less climbers registered than we actually have.
What does it mean to register as a climber?
So basically, an individual climber should be part of a rock climbing club or some kind of organization. For example, Tallinna Kalju Ronimisliit or Tartu Kalju Ronimisliit Kruks, or there's like different climbing clubs. And through them, you will be registered. Your name will not be written down, but just the statistics will be given.
Well, that's kind of an interesting point, because whenever you go to the competitions, it always asks you like what club you are. And I had like certain clubs I put there, like I've always put Kivi lately. But I'm not, like, if you ask me, am I a registered climber? I have actually no idea.
Yeah.
So do you have to like go to your club where you go climbing all the time, just ask them, or how does it work?
Yeah, one way is to either, for example, if you are in Tallinna Kalju Ronimisliit, which whose trainings usually take place at Kristiina Spordihall. If you go to Kristiina Spordihall once a week, then you probably are registered. But if you go climbing somewhere else, then you're not probably registered. But I'm gonna make a post about it before 31st of October.
So everybody who listens, go climb in Kristiina for some time, at least like once per week, to make sure you're registered as a climber.
Yeah, if you think you are not registered as a climber, come and ask me, hey, I wanna help also Estonian Climbing Association to get governmental funding, and I wanna be a registered climber.
Okay. Oh, actually, it's like so much more interesting than I thought, than I imagined. Like there's so much new info.
Actually, I was thinking about these climbers who don't go to a gym. For example, we can get data from gyms as well. Like if they go to the gym, like they have a monthly pass, then they probably are like regular climbers. We can get that kind of data, and I'm already collecting it. So thank you everyone who has been like giving me their data.
Who has been climbing?
Yes. But I was thinking about those climbers who climb outside. Like they climb regularly, they train regularly. They train at different gyms. I'm one of them. I don't go regularly to any gym.
So you just in Estonia it's not such a big problem. You just have to wait till winter and then gather the information because there's nowhere to climb outside.
Yeah, maybe. But I was thinking of maybe I should like start a club. Like, come join my club. Just like people who
general climbers.
General climbers. Do you have any good name? General Climbers Club.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I'll ask the audience, what would you name my climbing club? Where we gather people who like to climb, but they are probably not registered anywhere.
Well, actually, that's an interesting question as well. What does it mean to be a club? How do you register yourself to be a club?
Yeah, you basically write a põhikiri, which is like, what's that in English? Your...
Well, I guess it's like a constitution of your club.
Constitution, exactly, yeah. And you state that you're a sports club, your name, what is your mission, etc. So basically a little bit of paperwork, and you register it in äriregister, in the registry, business registry, and also sports register. So that's where sports register, spordiregister, that's where all the information should go to about coaches, about how many members your club has, etc. So if anyone wants to start a club, go and do it. I know that some universities have their climbing club. There was a Taltech University climbing club. I think the main person is not in Estonia right now, but they said if they come back, then they will start it again. So, like small climbers, if you feel small clubs, like if you feel that there's something that connects you, like you all, I don't know, work in the same place, or have like some gang you go climbing outside with. Go make it official, make it a club.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, which brings us, well, me at least, to the question, the Estonian Climbing Association now, how many members does it have and how many people who are involved?
Yeah, all right. I'm really sorry, but I think it's 8. I should, let's put it in the show notes.
All right.
The correct number, because some new have joined this year, 2 new members, and some have left because of they've stopped working. So pardon me, but I think it's around 8. And but I think throughout history, like the active members who do something daily has been only in the board, so board members. I think the truth is that most of the job our previous president made, Tarmo Kiik, and the more that I am in the president seat, the more like I admire his work that he has been doing, because there's a lot, and even though it didn't look like that outside, then like he did a lot. So yeah, let's say a board has been the most playing the most active part. Now, actually, it's very fresh, but just recently I opened Ronimisliit, Estonian Climbing Association headquarters. And as anyone would do it in 2023, I opened it in Slack. So basically all of the members from Ronimisliit, I've invited them there, where I hope to maybe have anyone who is more interested in like having a say or just to be more included in any discussion can have a way to do it. So yeah, that's one of the big things I think that is going to change how the responsibilities are shared. So yeah, if anyone out there feels like, hey, I want to be part of...
Yeah, that's exactly my question. Do you actually need more members for the association? And do you actually need people to help you?
Yes. So people who have offered me their help, hey, if you need help with this or that, if there's people out there who have told me that, then I usually say yes. Not right now, but I will remember it, and yes, I will take it. So thanks to that, I have been able to bounce some ideas with people who are experts in that field. So thank you anyone who has approached me with your help, but still in the future as well we will need help. You can contact me directly, like, hey, I want to help, or you can send to info@ronimisliit.ee, and still I will answer you.
And what kind of help do you need? Because like if I'm just a random climber, I'm not really sure how I can help and what I can do.
Yeah.
What do you actually need?
All right. Yeah, so actually there's two ways. Like if you feel that you are really comfortable in something, or like, I don't know, marketing or social media or organizing events, or you're interested in something like, or you like science, you like to read, you want to create also these teaching materials. If you feel like something is interesting, just let me know and I will find you something. But the other thing that we need, I was actually going to make a post quite soon about it to find if anyone wants to help us out. One is social media social media communications, just social media, maybe also plan. So anything to do with that, I need help. Or not I need help, but we need help. It's also really exciting. I would love to put all my effort in there, but sadly I don't have more than 24 hours in the day. Why this social media could be really exciting for people is that we are allowed to use IFSC photos and content, and these are amazing footages. So if you feel like you would like that, then yeah, there's a job for you. Organizing events, for example, the championships. We are organizing the championships, but also I have a really a dream that maybe Estonian Climbing Association could start having yearly New Year's events on a neutral ground, which isn't a climbing hall, but I don't know, some local in Telliskivi, like erinevate tubade klubi or something, or it can take place in different cities as well. Basically, it would be mostly mingling event, but also like an event where we can appreciate people who have been helping Ronimisliit. We could look back at 2023, look forward to 2024, and something like that. So if someone feels like, yeah, I want this event, then let me know. There's a lot also bureaucracy where we need help with. So if you like spreadsheets and
if you like bureaucracy,
then
you can do something.
Writing projects and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. It's such an interesting topic that our camera is overheating. It cannot sustain this rate.
I needed water too, so.
Good. Oh yeah, that's good then.
Yeah. So yes. Estonian Climbing Association needs help, and I am ready to give you all kinds of assignments.
And so you have to go climb, you have to become part of some climbing club, and you have to go and help.
Yes.
Say what you can do for the Climbing Association.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I guess, you've said a lot about... already a lot about what you want to do as the new president and what you want to change, but maybe you have something else to say, like what's the future for Estonian Climbing Association?
I think I haven't mentioned the biggest thing, which is for me personally very interesting, but also very challenging, is to make it financially sustainable, so that all of the work wouldn't be only on volunteers' shoulders. Because even though it's a beautiful thing that we are doing, at one stage, if only relying on volunteers' work might not keep the spark up anymore. There are certain things that should be paid for to like it is in any organization. So I would like Estonian Climbing Association as well to become one of those who can be financially sustainable, like it is in the older associations. I don't know, Austria, Germany, etc. There's such a rich history. All the systems are already there, and they I think there's only a few cases where there's volunteers working, like for example at events, etc. But usually it's all working like an organization. So this is one of my biggest wishes. To find a sustainable funding for Estonian Climbing Association. But something else that is very exciting, I think, is we want to create Estonian national climbing team. I don't know, all of IFSC members have it. We should have one as well. Even though we just started in the IFSC scene as competitors, even though we only recently got our first gyms opened, 8 years ago. That's really fresh. But you have to start from somewhere, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I think the competitors that have been going to IFSC right now, I think it's been really hard for them because they have been doing it kind of on their own.
Well, I guess that's you can say a bit more about, for example, where Kate just have been, and you can explain what competitions he has been at and say why is it important for Estonia as well.
Yeah, sure. So Kate is in the adult circuit, and then we have Marat Tiisler in Tartu, who is in the youth circuit. I'll start from Marat because chronologically it was April when he went to Lithuania to take part at the Youth World Cup in bouldering. And thank you, Lithuania, for organizing it. One of the things why Lithuania wanted to organize it was that our region, like climbers from our region, could have more access to IFSC events. So thank you, Lithuania, for that. And indeed, one of our sportsmen went, and it was initiated by his coach, Nadezhda Bolshakova, and coaches do so much for their kids. Like it's really amazing how they are ready to do everything to help their kids. It's like their kids become almost like family. So it's very. See, I'm already saying their kids. Yeah, climbing kids. Then Kate, who went to championships. And why he chose championships is that championships happen in every 2 years, and it usually either in Europe or then it can be also in Asia or US. Now it was in Europe, so it was like a good opportunity for an Estonian to go to World Championships as well. And then now, just recently in September, Marat went to his second IFSC comp, which was in Finland, and that was the European Youth Championships, which was funded by Quilka. I need to say it because this year has been the first time that our climbers have gotten any funding, and I'm just so happy about it. There's been people who have said that it's not possible, but it is. Look at these logos. Yeah, and also Quilka. This is like news from 2 days ago that they decided to give funding to us. And why it's important for Estonia, not only Estonia, let's start with that. It's important for other climbers just to have this inspiration in front of you that, hey, it's not impossible to go to IFSC circuit. I think 10 years ago, it's definitely, I thought that it's impossible. but now when young climbers and other strong climbers see that people take part from Estonia in IFSC, they want to train as well, for IFSC. They want to take part. Not that everyone has to, but there are people who love competitions for just the excitement and what the competing brings. You know what it can be like.
I know. Every time I'm so motivated after competitions.
Yeah, it's not competing, it's all that surrounds it. It's the vibe, the excitement, the community.
Even watching any kind of competition, you just get fingers get sweaty.
Oh yes,
you just want to go climb yourself right away.
Yeah, exactly. So I think most important, it's why it's important that our competitors went to IFSC this year was to that they inspired other climbers, and basically they laid the foundation for other climbers to step on and also start their sports career.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's move away slightly from the plans, and could you just describe your own experience, what it's been like to be the president of the Climbing Association so far, and generally how it works, because, well, as you said, you don't really have a lot of funding, and most of the stuff you do is kind of volunteers just helping out, and what it's like to kind of organize the whole thing, because it sounds like it is a lot of work. How do you organize it? How do you decide on stuff, and what it's like?
Yes, so many questions in one in one of your questions. Let's start with it's all volunteer work right now, and I have been starting writing projects, and also I have onboarded a partner who helps writing projects, and thanks to whom we have won like 2 of the fundings. Altogether I've already gotten like 4 different outside fundings for Estonian Climbing Association for different purposes. So right now, like the shortcut is to, not shortcut, but I think one of the part how Estonian Climbing Association will continue working is also writing these projects, so that we can in there as well calculate like any of the jobs that we do. So for example, well, right now, maybe not, but organizing championships, really ideally in the future, like the project should also have in the budget, like the pay for organizers or the pay for who are on that day working, etc. So this is like one of the ways. Oh my God, what was the question?
Well, let's see.
How it works. Yeah.
Well, how it works, yeah.
Yeah. So currently mostly volunteer, but bits and pieces we can get funding from different areas. So that's that. The other thing is, the volunteer work is such an interesting thing as well. It's like when you volunteer work doesn't mean that if you have responsibilities that you are allowed to not fulfill them. And that's something that needs to be communicated prior, like, or made understood, or you need to be on the same page like all of the time. And it kind of makes sense that if you don't get paid, then I can understand why people might think that then I just don't have to do it. But a key thing is that don't take any responsibility that you can't fulfill. And if at one stage you find out that actually it's like too much, I can't, then you need to communicate this, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And what is the worst thing is that if there's no communication, if we expect someone to do something by some deadline, and at the deadline we find out that actually nothing's been done for different reasons. So I think one of the most important things is communication during in the volunteer work. But I guess communication is anywhere the critical place where things will go either the right direction or the wrong direction.
Well, I guess if even I heard about Ronimisliit this year, then you're doing the correct communication.
Yeah, but I mean also within,
yes.
yeah. So
But I guess the other part of the question is, what's your personal experience? Do you like it? How do you like it so far doing that? And actually, there's like a second part is what motivated you to do this stuff?
Which one do I start from? Which question? I'll start with the motivation question. Climbing has given me so much in my life. And I feel that giving back through Estonian Climbing Association is, that's the way to give back to the community. And I think giving back back, there can be different ways how you can give back. You can give back by donating, you can be a volunteer, or you can create something. Anyway, I feel like, yeah, that's the way to give back to the community. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Like when I'm at my deathbed, like what will I be the most proud of, or happy about that I did it, or yeah. And I think if I need to choose like what I do today, then I will probably choose giving back to the community through Estonian Climbing Association, because I feel like I will have a positive impact there. So yeah, that's my motivation. I don't know if that was like, if that made sense at all.
It makes sense, yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, but what was the first question?
Well, what's your experience so far doing this thing?
Yeah. Thank you. This question is, yeah, so far positive experience. I know that getting, it's a little bit, again, getting something started, because or initiating, it's a little bit like building up a startup. I feel like right now Estonian Climbing Association is still in that place, like where we are making a lot of impact right now, and like deciding things that will determine how things will be in the future. So it's very exciting, but also there's a lot of building. I like the creative part in the I think it's creative. Maybe not everything everyone thinks or agrees that it's creative, but I feel like yeah, creating the structure is very interesting for my brain. So yeah, but I wanted to mention something else here. Okay, it's gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I only got one last question is how do you think our climbing association in Estonia kind of compare to other ones around the world, and is it like really similar, is it really different?
Yeah, I briefly stopped there as well. It's similar to many of the associations that also have these young associations. For example, I find many similarities with Lithuanian, although there are a few years ahead, but which is great because then I can learn from them. And then there's the old associations, like for example Austria, etc., where we are just really different. But then there's also countries that don't even have an association and who like might look up to us like, oh, you have an association. So we are, I think, somewhere in the middle. But then also there's the not only climbing association but other sports associations. Like we are an Olympic sport. And this actually gives us a lot of benefits, which we might not realize right now. I think there are quite many sports that are not that privileged yet. I think like disc golf or paddle or like those kinds of sports. It's harder for them to find funding, for example.
So it's just that it's potentially easier to get funding if you're an Olympic sport.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we are with Estonian Climbing Association somewhere in the middle right now. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I've asked everything. At least I wanted to know about Ronimisliit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got anything to add, you
can I ask you now?
Yes, let's do this.
Okay. All right. Just before we started this interview, you mentioned that you were also part of an alpine association in Scotland.
Well, it's not exactly association. It was alpine or mountaineering club, university mountaineering club,
Yeah.
and I was involved there for several years. I was first, I was like gear secretary. I was someone else, I don't remember. But then the last year I was the president of this mountaineering club.
Did you guys get paid?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I guess in clubs, it's like even harder to like pay.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, it's university club. I mean, you're dealing with the students who, by definition, don't have any money at all.
Yeah.
So hoping to get paid there is kind of like foolish a bit. But then we got a lot of things which are much better than being paid. We got like a really, really nice community. We've got like really good friends. I mean, I have friends with whom even after university I've been going to climbing trips for quite a while. And then we got absolutely amazing experience in Scotland. Actually, I think at some point I was going to trips every weekend and going somewhere into the mountains. I was having all sorts of courses. I was participating in all sorts of competitions in Scotland.
Maybe you should open a club here in Estonia.
Oh, I've got so many things I want to do and so many things I'm doing already. Yeah, maybe, but...
Okay, you can join my club.
Yeah, I will join your club, definitely.
The Random Climbers Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The left-out climbers club who are not in the other ones.
I'll ask a finishing question as well. What are the, what's the one thing that you learned at that club that you will remember for the rest of your life? And what's the one thing you want to take from that experience and adopt it here in Estonia in an organization setting?
Well, I guess one of the things is, it's kind of connected to this volunteering work. I guess it benefits everyone if you try to like give your best, if you're not always trying to search for some benefits for yourself, but just trying to give to the community. Because after all the people who are doing this stuff in Scotland, they were doing it for free. But as a result, we had an absolutely amazing club with amazing people, with amazing events, and where everybody was just organizing, helping, and doing stuff. And I just had like an amazing 5-year experience of being there and being with this club. And I guess that's what you get. You volunteer, give some of your time and effort for free, but then you get this amazing community in return.
You get your family.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think, if you feel that you've got enough time to help either your club or Ronimisliit or whatever organization who is kind of promoting this sport, your favorite sport, then I guess you should at least think about it.
Yeah.
It always helps.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's a nice thought actually to end this with, like the communities. It's one of the ways to stay healthy and like sane.
Motivated and sane.
Exactly.
It's all the climbing trips are about community in a lot of the ways, and like about people you go with, and it's just great.
So let's keep the community strong.
I guess it's like always been the climbing spirit that you just gather and do stuff with lots of friends. Yeah. But thank you for coming here as well. Thank you for being our first guest. And it's actually, for me personally, it was really interesting as well, all of the stuff.
Thank you. You asked very good questions, and I felt very comfortable in this lounge chair.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even need to ask, really. You knew what you have to say. You knew everything.
All right.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you so much also for inviting me. And I wish you luck with all of the next parts. I'm gonna be one fan watching those, all of them.
Thank you. Well, and if you're wondering, we're saying a lot about like how to do stuff officially, and the answer was just contact Kristiina. We'll post all of that stuff, how you can contact and how you can see what Ronimisliit is doing and things like that.
Yeah, in the show notes.
Yeah. Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.